2020?
Yeah, 20. We almost in 2019. Yes, definitely 2020. Yeah.
Golly.
We're ready for maturity.
We gotta all do some.
2020, we better win. You better, whatever it is you push.
Whatever it is, everybody who's been saying that they've been grinding since 2012, 2020.
2020, you better bust.
You better bust.
You better be busting in 2020. Like,
it's time to go.
You better approach.
There ain't nobody
Yeah.
Because 2021, it's just like nobody's like, oh, 2020. There's no significant. I mean, everyone's gonna have their personal significance year to year, but 2020, that's like a shift. That's a shift in the whole universe's energy, really. Yeah. 2020.
What's next?
You know what I'm saying? 26. You know what I'm saying? I feel like 2010. These even numbers. 2010. A decade goes by. 2020. Another decade goes by. 2010 seems like yesterday. Oh, here she come.
Oh, let me get another shot.
Hello.
What up? What's good?
Sorry,
I got you guys set up right here.
Good.
What's good?
What up?
What's good with you? How you doing? How you doing?
Good to meet you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hey.
What up, man?
Good morning. Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I got
Good to have you.
On mic right over here.
Oh, word.
Oh wait, no. So
Oh, hold on. No,
we want to get started on this part. Yeah.
She said, "Boop."
Yo.
Oh, the lady of the hour. She made it in with us. How are you? How's your Sunday?
Made some time, in my schedule for you guys. I'm just kidding. What's up? What's up, the live? Pumpkin spice, baby.
How's your Sunday treating you?
It's October right now.
PSL.
Oh yeah, it's definitely fully here. How's your Sunday treating you?
It's good so far. Yeah.
What do you normally do on a Sunday?
We're trying to implement that Sundays are our days off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It hasn't worked yet.
The seventh day, you gotta rest sometimes on some.
That's what I'm saying.
On Sundays, especially on like a cloudy day like today. I don't know.
It's so
It's kind of a
nice.
cloudy, it's like classic Seattle day.
Classic fall.
It's
Yeah.
easy.
For sure when it's raining.
Definitely.
Easy to be comfy.
Right now, though.
Ooh, I go back and forth. I be playing games with both of them.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I gotta catch up with a couple of my shows, and I got in late, so I was like, I had to catch up on Power.
What are you on? Oh, on Power.
Power, Snowfall. What's this other show that I've been checking out? I've been loosely watching this show. Man, I don't want to say it's on the air, but I got sucked into that show. Pose. It's a chick show. I got sucked into it, bro.
I don't even know that one. Power's the only show that I'm on from TV, and I just gone.
Man,
I'm behind.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
You know what? Speaking of Hulu, is a super trippy show that I watched called The Act.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I heard
It
that.
is intense.
What's that about?
It's about this. It's a true story. I'm as like most.
Is it true story or is it based on a true story?
No, it's.
Well,
I mean, it's like
There is a difference these days.
You know what I'm saying? There's interpolation in there.
It's a true crime. So it's a totally real story,
There is
and
a
they
crazy
they
bitch who did this.
yeah they
Oh,
got the
okay.
facts. They got the facts like pretty dead on. Basically, this girl, her mom tricked her since she was like a baby into believing that she was paralyzed. So she was in a wheelchair.
That's what it was. Yeah.
And she was like super sick. Her mom was like, you're gonna die if you ever have sugar. Like you're like hypo, whatever.
She, like, had her have surgeries and all.
Yeah,
bro.
and
medication, all that.
And she was like, it's called Munchausen syndrome, when like somebody makes somebody sick so that they can take care of them because they like get off on like being a caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
And so finally this girl is like, I can walk and I'm a like normal girl, and she was 21, I think, or something like that, and her mom was still like her mom was lying to her and saying that she was like 14. And anyways, her mom was just trying to get a bunch of like funding so they would win all these things
They got
for
a whole
like
house built for them.
Yeah, like they were just like really like made the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Like the mom was like, my daughter's so sick, it's a miracle that she's alive. And like it's just it was so crazy.
That's literally only something you see on TV or damn near like,
right?
Or that you hear like that's such a crazy. If you were to hear that on the news for real.
You'd be like, that's from a movie.
That
No one would
exactly.
do that.
Yeah.
The mom, I forgot who played the mom. She looks very familiar. She's played in like movies back in the 90s.
She's played a weird mom a few times.
Yeah.
I feel like
I think she's an Arquette. I think she's yeah.
She's an Arquette?
Yeah.
Okay,
The Arquette family.
I didn't even know they had a big little clan like that.
It's like David Arquette,
Patricia Arquette.
Yeah, that's about as far as my knowledge.
And then this lady, Arquette.
Yeah, this one, and then this one. But yo, Scarlet Parke in the building with us here today. Flight Risk out now on all platforms. Now, the first time I really like came across you really was not too long ago, and I just saw like your music video for Anxious.
Oh, cool.
And as soon as I saw it, it was just like I was like, honestly, this across all genres, it was like this has to be up for like video of the year, just because like the videography was super dope. Like the scenes were super dope. I like. You know, like you got on your shirt right there where you're painted in gold flakes. I thought the bathtub scene was super dope. Like like just that aerial shot was crazy. So I thought it was like a really cohesive, like well delivered package for sure. Now like Flight Risk, the name of your project, it's like that means like you're liable to leave. Like by definition.
Yeah.
Tell us about the
next album name.
You're liable to leave.
hey, just put me in the credits.
Probably gonna bounce.
But tell us about the inspiration behind Flight Risk.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, my whole existence, I was always like searching for where I like fit in, you know, and a lot of people go through that in different ways. And mine was me not knowing like what I wanted to do with my life. Even though I've always loved singing, like I still, you know, was pushed to get a normal job and do this and go to college and I would try these things and I would, you know, and I would have all these jobs and my bosses would always say like, you know, we can't like keep you on if you're just like sometimes not going to come in and, you know, you're late every day or you leave early because, you know, you want to go home and I'd be like, sorry, I want to go home and write music. I'm leaving.
Of course.
And my bosses were like, okay, you know, and then, so, yeah, it just, people would say that to you, people would say like, you're just too much of a flight risk. Like we can't employ you. And so I was just I kind of took it as a compliment. I was like, okay, like that's a good thing. That means that I like if I keep going back to this, like that's what I should be doing, you know. And all signs just kept pointing to sing, do something with that, you know. And so yeah, these are all just stories of like the journeys and things that I went through / put myself through to arrive at, you know, like where I am now.
Building of you, yeah. My mom's ex-husband told me once, he said, you are a waste of taxpayers' money. So I definitely feel you on that. You know what? Cool.
Yeah, it's like,
gonna happen my way and eventually I'll get what I want. Like,
yeah, like I kind of developed the mentality of, look, I'm no good to anybody unless I'm doing what I like.
You dig?
So I can either waste your time or we can find a way to like work our interests in together, you know? And it's dude.
Sound like money to me.
Sounds like money. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm glad to be born when I was born though, because I think if I was born like me, how I am now, like 50 years ago, man, I'd be wrecked. I wouldn't. They would be like, you want to be a singer? Like go.
Oh, we're always gonna get looked at crazy for that.
I know.
It's like.
Oh yeah.
But I listened to the project front to back.
What'd you think?
It's different for me. Mm-hmm. You know, my everyday listening is really pretty much consisted of just hip hop.
Hip hop,
really.
Yeah.
But I liked it. You're super unique, and it's like a kind of undefinable sound, really, in my opinion. I would like to get your take on, but yeah, like the ones that I kind of walked away with, Anxious, super dope. I like how you started off. Moonlight was another one that I really liked. Man Like You was also dope. So I like those three really stuck with me.
Cool.
And it sounded like as I was going through the track list, it kind of sounded like there's some like past relationship stuff on there, right?
For sure. I mean, like I said, some of the stuff I went through, some of the stuff I put myself through. Like, you know, I had just a series of dating people that I kind of knew were no good for me, but that's where I was in life, like feeling like you didn't deserve more than that. And so like I dated this guy who was just a horrible drug addict, and that's what my song Night is about. Because I would just be at the apartment and he would be out doing drugs with his friends all night, even though he's like, I'm on my way home. 2 hours later, I'm on my way home. Yeah. You know, and just like me sitting there just like, okay, well, you know, I guess that's just what life is. And then learning, you know, that like, no, you if you want better, you have to get better. You have to like go out and get better, and you have to put your foot down. And so yeah, that's what like some of the songs are definitely like they're very, very personal, and they were just written, you know, when I was out on my own doing my own thing with just a piano I carried in the trunk of my car. And
there you go.
Yeah, so they're old, and like it is like a very, I think that's why the album is such a like modge podge of genres, is because it's like a 10-year recap of everything, you know. So it's like there's this song that was very, you know, jazzy. There's a song that was very hip hop inspired. There's a song, you know, so
with the genesis, like the conception begins like on the keyboard. So it is interesting seeing her create everything on a keyboard with the melody and singing the lyrics, and then coming into the studio with the producer and seeing like what happens when that collaboration starts, but you've given like that foundation and bones of like what you want that skeleton to look like.
I like that.
But it comes out a different thing when, you know.
And that's an interesting thing. I was on my way here, and the Nicki Minaj song Megatron was on, and I was wondering, my girl was like, why did she call it Megatron? I said, I think it's because of the ad lib in the back. And it's and the point I'm making about that is, it's the last minute of the record. Once you cover all bases, you're like, oh, what are we gonna call this? Oh, I got an idea. I want to lay some ad libs on this part. And it'll sound like a da 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 da.
Yeah.
So it's just the pieces of the process that always makes it interesting creating this kind of music, especially yours in general. Like, I feel that it's definitely well put together to where I'm like, I put you in the same. I'm a Sade fan. You know, I'm a Sade, Anita Baker. You know, Sundays clean the house. I'm that kind of guy. So it's like when I hear your material, especially on days like this, I'm like, I'm vibing.
No, for sure.
Vibing, especially like on a good night, a Friday night where I'm in
it's
the
like
house.
It's like cloudy night vibes for sure.
But it's the good.
Whether it's like the clouds or the clouds, you
I'm
know.
not thinking.
There's cloudy night and Sunday mornings, though. I know what you mean.
Yeah. You're not thinking about work the next day. You're just like, I'm in my moment. This is what's helping me ease that. Let's go.
That's interesting
awesome.
though, when she's putting out tracks like Anxious, but like people that influenced her when she was beginning to study music was like Ella Fitzgerald. You know what I mean? Okay. So it's like, I remember her telling me that. So it's like when. It's just that's an interesting dichotomy of two different, you know, vibes.
It's fun because I'm just now really getting into hip hop. Like, I grew up on jazz. Like, my dad was, you know, a big Frank Sinatra and Ring of Fire. Why am I forgetting his name?
Cash?
Johnny Cash. Yeah, okay. So that is like the vibe that we just kicked it with all the time. And then my little sister grew up she's like a hip hop head. And so she started like sending me stuff. She's like, yo, like check this out. And so I started, you know, learning about.
Shout out Gracie.
Yeah, my sister's dope. So, and she's so she's been a huge part of that too. But it's awesome. And like I never felt like I could be in that genre of music because I didn't grow up listening to it, you know? And it's like definitely has such it's such a family feel of like,
it has an influence.
You know?
It has definitely influence.
Yeah. But we've got some hip hop songs coming out.
I
made a song with Creeps, J Battle.
Hey,
it's fire.
Shout out to Creeps.
I believe it.
He's so good.
Now, this is J Battle or Mercy Miller or Creeps.
I know.
It's all three. You get all
That's
three.
What we asked him. We were like, which one of your like, who are you?
I know. Who are you today?
J Battle probably. I think he produced the beat.
Okay, that's my man. I've been working with him.
And it's fire. We heard it when we went in. We were both like, oh my god! And then
it's like we decided that it's gonna be in a heist movie, like just creeping like.
You'll know when you be like, oh yeah,
sneak
someone
peek.
needs to rob a bank.
It's a sneak peek.
It
is, yeah.
Yep. Go ahead. Oh man.
We might just have to.
I'm sorry. I noticed in the beginning, definitely I've noticed, not in the beginning, but just beginning of this year, I noticed you work with Jake Crocker.
Yeah.
Now, what is that like? I've never got to actually have a conversation with someone that's worked with Jake. I've sat down with him, had lunch a couple times. And
with Jake?
Yeah, you know, some good people. He got me on that, what kind of bike is that he had? He put me onto that bike.
He's got an electric bike.
Yeah, electric bike.
Yeah.
He passed us one time and he was like, hey, and we like looked and it was Jake bike. And we were like, what?
He rides that thing everywhere, yeah. Oh.
I almost did.
He'd probably kill you.
Nah,
That's his baby.
You need to buy your own. I'm about my own. I got you. Just haven't got it yet.
Right.
But what was the process like working with him? Being that he's like actually one of those guys that, in my special opinion, that really is gifted on that board.
Yeah. No, I mean he can whip something up real quick.
Okay.
It was great. Like we met at Block Party when I played it the first time with my soul band. Mm-hmm. So I had like a 6-piece jazz band, soul band for 4 years that we like, played around, and we did all like the festivals and stuff like that. And then Jake like met me. He was playing, I think, Numos, and I was playing Barboza. Anyways, he was like, I heard your voice, and I think it's dope, and if you ever wanted to do like, pop music, let me know. And I like just kind of put that in my back pocket for like a year. And then we start recording the second album with my jazz band, and the producer I'm working with then was like, I just don't really like this sound for you. After I've like gone through a whole day, paid him, everything. He's like, he's like, you should be doing like pop music. Like the songs you write, like in the style and the form and the melodies, like they need a beat, And so I immediately thought of Jake. And I texted him. I was like, "Hey, remember me?"
He's like, "Of course I know. How could I forget?"
Yeah, that's right. And I was like, I was like, "You still want to work together, maybe?" And he's like, "Yeah, come on over like tomorrow." And so I sent him some the stuff that we were working on, this and all the songs that are on the album. Those are the songs that we were gonna do with my jazz band. So, and I still have the demos of like, it's so crazy to listen to my jazz band playing like What We've Become, right, and then playing like Jake's version. It's so cool. So maybe we'll release those a little later.
I think that would be a good little,
like, witness the growth process of like, this is where it started. I even have like the original piano versions, and then to the jazz, and then to the pop.
Well,
it's
and
like,
also
so
coming from a soul place, like we talk about that all the time for her performances. She likes to like just kind of like vibe out and totally improv the set, like that coming from that like soul place where you just kind of go and like the lyrics.
That's
but, like,
a talent.
It is a talent, but like, and I'm over here on the side where I'm like, you need to sing it the same so people can hear your shit. But it's like, I fucking love the way that you sing it every time. So.
Right. That's the one thing that is a lot different that I miss, is that just being able to like look at the band and be like, let's do it again, double time, and like you can change it up on the spot. Where like now, I'm playing 2 tracks that are pretty much defined, unless we decide beforehand that we're gonna add something on. But back to Jake, he's so we started working together, and I've sent him the songs, and he was like, so Scarlet, I'm gonna rip these songs back to the bones, and like we're gonna build them back in a pop way. And I was like, super nervous, I'm like, okay, I've had these songs forever. I'm like, they're my babies, like for real. Like these are actually, this is my heart on the page. Right. So I'm like, okay, like never trusted anybody before like that. But he did well, and it was a lot of me being like, I don't know about that sound, and Jake would just be like, shh. Like I know what I'm doing,
Like, just trust me, just wait.
And I'm like, I don't know about.
I
know.
Trust me.
And I'm like, is that a trap beat? Are you putting a trap beat in that song?
How much of like, because you being a piano player and you said you like to craft like your own sound as you're making the song, like you're right there on the scene, obviously as it's being created. So like, how much is there ever a lot of clash between not only maybe Jake but other people that you have craft your sounds? Because like you already came with the idea,
right?
You already literally have some of it there, like the structure and the backbone. Is
there
ever that clash?
I think that yes, there has been clash, not in a bad way, but just of me like having to be firm of like, this is what I want for this song. Like this is the intention it was written with. Like it needs to go this direction, and I don't want it to be taken like where to me it just doesn't make sense. Like because at the end of the day, I'm singing the songs on stage. Right. So if I'm not vibing with it, that's going to come through in the performance. So that's kind of how I articulate that. But everybody's been really cool as far as and there's a difference too, because sometimes I'll just come with a voice memo of just like, just vocal, and I haven't even written any piano or anything. And then it's really fun to actually be more collaborative with the producer and be like, okay, let's like see where we can take this. But when the songs are like completely done and I've been playing them and I have the sound, then it's a little different, it's just less creative, I think, for the producer, which some producers aren't down for that. They're like, I don't want a song that you've already written. Like I want to create something. So you just have to, it's kind of like dating,
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta
compromise.
Yeah, you have to see who you vibe with. And I mean, the first step is always, and you guys know, but you have to find who is just that energy.
Just good chemistry off the bat.
Yeah,
that's gotta be.
It's gotta be. Yeah, it's gotta be there, because you can. I mean, the product is gonna come out feeling feeling what the vibe was in the studio. Always.
That's a fact. Whether you had a stuffy day,
you're
excited. I don't know. That's why I think me and Creeps drink a lot when we have our sessions.
Oh.
We come in
gotta
loose.
get the swag.
Okay.
Yep. Exactly.
I want to get back to your project here a little bit, because you said that you encapsulated quite a bit of time, to be able to put that project together.
Yeah.
I had the chance to see you at Splash Fest as well, and you made an announcement there. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're newly engaged here.
Oh, I am. Yes. Thank you.
So, congrats on that. What's that conversation like? Because you're obviously talking about past relationships and stuff like that. What's that conversation like with him, where it's just like you're putting music out about these people who are no longer there?
Well, in the past, like, dating has always been really hard because, like, the dudes that I was dating were very, like, yeah, I don't really want to hear the story behind that, or, like they don't really want to know too much, kind of thing, because but
insecure.
Right. Marco, my fiance, is not like that at all. He we met on set, and the song that I was singing was "Man Like You," which is like my song about going crazy on my ex-boyfriend. And he's like, I love that song. And he's he's like, I know not to piss you off. So no, he's so supportive, and he actually the other day, I've never been able to write music with anybody else in the room. Like when I'm actually writing, I need to be able to just, like, if I'm gonna, like, cry, or if I'm gonna, like, whatever I'm gonna do to get out what's in, what's eating at me, because that's usually what inspires my songs is, just it's my cleansing.
Definitely very therapeutic.
Yeah, I'm trying to write more happy songs though. Like, people are always like, your songs they're kind of sad, but I'm like such a bubbly person, so they're like, it doesn't really, like, and I'm like, well, that's just where all the negativity goes,
That's the really dope part though, because as I was listening to it, it's like I'm hearing the content, and it is what you're speaking on, but it's like the energy isn't always, it's not down. Like it's actually the opposite. It's just like it's upbeat and it has energy to it. So like if you're not really like tapped in, maybe you're just kind of background listening, like it doesn't sound like that at all, which is like the cool thing about.
That was what Jake really helped me with, because when we were performing with my band, I think that it was a little more like somber sounding, and Jake, really helped just modernize it and keep it upbeat, and because that's the other thing, playing a really sad set sucks.
Yeah.
I like to see people out there being like, yeah, like, let's dance, and being able to, bring a guy on stage and have him strip, and like it should be fun. Yeah, we did that at Block Party.
I mean, like, that kind of like content as a whole, it's like it's got that Hotline Bling vibe, because it's like Drake is so sad on that song, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's a great turn. Like you can't help but groove to it. You can't help but groove to it. So it's just like that the content is like,
oh my God,
he's really trying to reminisce on me.
He's like, it's okay, I'm okay.
Ever since you left.
That's so funny.
But that's like, it's probably cool for him. He's like, okay, well, that was a really sad moment, but it's like people are turning up to it. Yeah. So it's like, you can turn that negativity into positivity.
It's like one day I was sad, and the next day there's me playing tennis from my music video.
That's the joy of it, though. I think that's, throughout like the 70s, 80s, they made music like that, where you can turn a negative into a positive vibe, beat-wise, and then you sing along with it. But I mean, I think, tapping into that vibe is always pretty cool.
Yeah.
You get over it easily.
Yeah.
It's easy to get over, like, okay.
It's
that's
like
the thing.
joyous. Because like, misery usually loves company,
right.
You know what I mean? It's just like, why you put on a sad song when you're sad? Like, shouldn't you try to put on something like happy, you know what I mean? Or like more, but I get it, because I feel like we all get to that place.
In 2 weeks, by the way.
A Drake party, like his party, or like a Drake themed party?
Drake themed party. So I'm curious. I'm ready to cry.
Like one drink
drunk.
Or multiple drinks? Just a
I don't know. I think it's gonna be just a one Drake. I think it's gonna be the Heartbreak Drake vibe.
Oh, Drake.
Drake. Oh, I was like, drink. I was like, what?
No,
I'm going to a drink party. I'm like, every party is a drink party.
I know. I was like, do you pick one? Drake, word. Okay.
Yeah,
that's gonna be interesting.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
Drake party. Where is it at?
I don't know. I'm gonna look on Facebook again.
Okay.
The ads has been popping up.
It's just like all Drake music.
All Drake music, but
I mean, my feelings about that.
It depends what Drake I
get. The Take
Yeah.
Care album
Oh yeah, it touches close.
Oh
yeah,
my
definitely.
God.
It's got to be.
I've cried my heart out to that album so many times in the best way. Just like, somebody gets me.
Like, I went through some shit around that time when that album came out.
Oh, for sure.
Are you still independent right now?
Yes.
So what is kind of like, what are you most focused on? You know, there's like, I always say there's so many hats that we got to wear and there's so many things so many bases we got to cover.
Right.
What are you most focused on right now?
I am most focused on like being present in the moment and trying to really like just focus on like the music that has been put out and what's coming up and how I can best deliver that to people in a way that, you know, they in a way that serves them, you know, like that they're gonna connect with it. And I think I really want people to get emotional and like not in a good way, you know, just like feel like I want to connect with people more. And so that's kind of what I'm focusing on, is connecting with my fans and just building up the people like around me and recording. We have a ton of new music coming out. So, and then music videos. Oh my God, you guys, we just recorded or just filmed this music video for Nowhere to Go.
Okay.
It is epic.
Now, is Nowhere to Go a song that's out right now or a song that's going to get released?
No, it's coming out October 25th. Okay. So, new release.
Hey, that's like 3 weeks from now.
Yo, I know.
Man, hold on. We got to get a TRL exclusive song, like, bro. Like,
I have it. We can play it.
Like
we can play it on air. I'm fine with that.
Might be able to get. I mean, we'll have to.
She looks at me.
We'll have to get
I'm
the
like,
post production. You'll have to shoot me a clip so we can. But like, we could definitely play it on air.
Or yeah, like I can.
Just send it to us. Yeah, email it over, and we'll definitely get it. But yeah, we can get to that.
I want to show it to you guys now.
Oh, hey, hey, pull it out. Okay, I'm down.
So yeah, anyways, we drove out for like 6 hours to Death Valley, and we hiked like half a mile into the middle of these insane sand dunes, and it just looked like we were in the middle of nowhere. Like the shots that we got, I was dressed like kind of Laura Croft. I had all these like straps on, like it was the freaking end of the world with like my and then like a long ass braid and this like cape that I had on, and it was just like it's like me walking through the desert with this like it's just, man,
that's super cool.
That's super dope.
It just it's dope. And then we filmed at like this abandoned plane, and the whole concept of it is I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been posting some very moody things online. Yeah. Which is leading up to this release. Yeah. No, it's actually been really sweet. A lot of people have checked on me. They're like, "Are you okay?" And because the song is called Nowhere to Go, and it's about like overthinking and like when you're stuck in your mind, like you can't ever leave your mind. You know, like there's nowhere to go. So that's what it's about. And so I'm just like, yeah, I've been kind of, greasing the wheel for that. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to release the teaser for that probably today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But it's just fun. It's so fun to be creating. So that's what I'm focusing on, just creating and like seeing how I can best like, connect with the people that want or need to connect with me. And,
I dig that.
She had a lot of content when we started working together. Flight Risk, like she said, was all these old songs from back in the day. So it's been interesting. Like she just put out an album in June, but we're over here. She's got like 16 songs right now that are like in the works for like what's coming up.
Can we get a Christmas album?
Honestly, though,
that would be
like I
just like your own Christmas, or like doing like a
do Christmas covers,
doing regular,
Man, it can go either way.
Scarlet Parke Christmas
like
album.
No. I'm talking about like you just giving your.
He's like, just put it out.
Just give us your approach. I'm definitely about
Christmas covers.
Yeah.
Nah, no Christmas covers.
Some original.
She can do more original, like 3 originals. Just 3 originals. That's all I need. 3 originals.
That's all.
Like
that's all. Feez
like based on Christmas.
Based on Christmas. I'm interested in that.
Ooh, like the new who's the dude that comes back every year?
Wham did it.
The dude that
Wham,
comes
bam,
back
thank you, ma'am.
every year for Christmas.
What?
The dude that comes back every year for Christmas?
Yeah, who's the guy that
Santa Claus?
Dead.
Santa's back annually.
Okay, I set that one up for you. Real nice. But like, no, there's a singer who like he doesn't do anything anymore, but like every year his Christmas album is like
Kenny G?
No.
Wow.
Is it? Oh, Oh my god, I'm gonna have to look it up. It's like the Michael Bublé.
Michael
He like
Bublé.
does shit and then like every Christmas.
Oh, he has a great Christmas. He's
No,
like this. He's
apparently like this
Frank
Christmas
Sinatra.
guru.
Yeah.
What? Really?
He's like, yeah. I mean, that's who he emulates.
I've never
Is
listened.
Frank
I played
Sinatra?
Nature
You've never
Boy.
listened to Frank Sinatra?
No, to Michael Bublé.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's
I
great.
mean, his one hit song I've heard.
Michael Bublé.
Bublé. I'm like, is that how you say it?
I hope that's his real name and not a stage name you chose.
I think it is.
It's definitely a stage name.
I think that's, but it's got an accent on. It's got an accent on the end.
You know what I think's
I mean, you could
really gonna hit
definitely throw an
right
accent on
now
the end.
if I name myself Bublé.
That was. It could be, but he had the one commercial on Super Bowl because like they
Yeah.
have like the bubbly like soda
Yeah.
or white
No.
carbonated water.
No.
He's like, no, it's not bubbly, it's Bublé.
It's not bubbly,
It's Bublé.
Bublé.
Who are some
so
of
I
your,
gotta start working with some like parking lots and be like, this is the Scarlet Parke
There you
lot.
That's not a bad finesse. Not a bad finesse.
I mean, they make hella money. You're trying to come up real quick, get a parking lot.
I know that.
for sure. You got to look at the businesses that have like
They just don't.
so much repeat business, or they use a lot of supplies. So you got to be right there supplying with what they keep turning over.
ATMs.
ATMs,
No
vending
overhead
machines.
in a parking lot. I'm like, it's just there, and you charge people.
Yep. Is this a
Very
video?
true.
I'm just giving clips.
So who's
Hey.
some of your favorite artists to listen to right now?
Ooh, well, shout out Mark E. Basie. Anybody who's listening live right now, he's having a pop-up show at Can't Blame the Youth today from 3 to
Okay.
6. He's dope. Like locally, I am loving Travis's new album.
Definitely.
Shout out. Pretty much anything that whole crew has been working on has just been so fire. Like Elon and Paris and, you know, they've got like such a good thing going. It's so cool. It's just like, keep them coming. Let's go.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, God, okay, let me focus. Who have I been listening to? I don't know why I can never answer this question because I just listen to a lot of like one song from one artist.
Same.
And it's more of just like there's a vibe that I'm digging right now, which is kind of this lo-fi, like Alina Baraz kind of vibe. Yeah, Khalid. I've been
Okay.
really, and Ariana Grande. I know that's kind of basic, but her last album, Thank You Next, was fire. If you haven't heard it, like that girl.
Just the song.
Yeah.
Only the single.
No,
You know what's funny is I don't like that specific song that much.
but the album,
whole album,
because she was like, oh yeah, Ariana Grande, whatever, and I was like, but really, I was like, I've had this album on repeat, like I can't. It's been so long. It's been so long since I just like played again, like the whole album, just front to back, and I can't. It's
You think she
so
stole
good.
Big Soulja Boy swag on what was it, Rings?
What?
You think
Is
she
that
stole?
a thing? Is that a thing?
I
Yeah,
mean,
you all didn't hear about that?
She-
Like Pretty Boy swag, like this right here is
Oh,
my
for
swag.
sure. But that wasn't the only thing she stole. I mean, that song is like
Oh.
freaking breakfast at Tiffany's
Oh,
and
yeah,
bottle
yeah.
na na na.
Yeah.
It's a you
Yeah,
know it's
what
a,
is that
it's
from?
a,
That's
it's a
like
Christmas song.
Right.
That's that favorite
These
thing
are a
song.
few of my yeah.
What's your view on that?
Favorite things.
Like people taking like a type of flow or melody, like blatant.
Well,
Like not even hiding
Like
it.
not even try to hide it
you know
a
what?
little bit.
You know what? I firmly believe that imitation is the highest form of flattery.
For definitely, and like that's definitely a hard
It's a
thing to do.
compliment.
I think of the very it's just
Like-
a tricky balance of finding like imitation and also like recognizing where you like what inspired you. You know what I mean? You never want to be just like copying something and being like, yes, this is all me. You know?
Right.
What if it was like? What if it was you? Like someone in town. Like, there's a girl, say another female artist who's coming up, and then like you literally just heard her
she
like.
came out with like Man Like You song? Feel like
Yes, or something, yeah, or just like anything, like they kind of took like your marketing strategy or something like that. Like, do you still feel flattered at that point?
You're a woman at that, so I know there's some petty in you. There's some petty.
I mean, I'd probably just like reach out and be like, hey.
I just want to sit down.
Just wanna say your stuff's really cool and looks and sounds a lot like mine. Let's be friends.
Oh man!
That's how you do
And then she wanted a feature from you.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do the feature?
Or take a picture.
Yeah, for $5,000, $10,000, $20,000.
Hey, you heard the prices live.
10, 20 sounds
Yeah, right.
10, 20 sounds about
Going
right.
from 5 to 20 real quick.
Yeah.
which really
I'm on. Wait. Yeah. Scratch that. Not 5. 10,
She
20.
said my clock going up, baby. You better watch me.
Time is ticking.
You better watch me. Yeah.
How hard do you feel like it is to stay focused on like one thing at a time? Because
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
for me, it's just like, man, I want to work on like building this over here. Then, oh man,
It's
I get
so
distracted.
bad.
How hard is that for you, or how easy is it?
It's so bad. I mean, so I thrive in chaos. Like that is, I mean, that's just me. You know, my
peace when it's war.
yeah, I'm like my mom owned a catering business growing up, and it was always like chaos and just like her being a businesswoman, I just like saw her doing so much, and so like I just like have that. I worked with her at her catering business since I was like 12, 13. Mm-hmm. So I kind of always want to be doing the most, but I have a really hard time focusing. So Mira's been, I mean, just a godsend. Like we started working together almost a year, actually more than a year ago, kind of. Yeah. Technically. Almost now. Yeah, almost a year.
Yeah, really, actually.
I hit her up on Instagram one day. I was like, yo, you look like you got what I need.
Talk about getting to that point of like.
Yeah. Well, so I started Parke Ave, and Parke Ave is a networking app for musicians.
Got that.
Hey.
Yeah, you're on. Yeah.
Put me on that.
Yeah. So it's an app. And a lot of people I think don't know that because we do a lot of events around the community. So some people I think either know it for the events or they know it only because of the app. But it's a full-time job in itself, and so Mira is like we've partnered on that as well. So we're kind of both now. I feel like I'm finally making progress because like I have help, because before it was just like impossible to do everything.
Yeah.
One, because it's just a lot of freaking work, and then two, just because you were saying just the focus part. And so, learning how to be your own business and knowing how to prioritize things that need to get done and create a schedule that is efficient yet also allows you time to have like some sort of life,
right.
Which my life is my work, so it's kind of hard to like split that hair and be like, okay, I can never actually take a day off, like there's always still, I should be out networking on this off time or something. So yeah, just learning how to prioritize that's something I'm definitely working on right now.
What's one thing that, for the people who are unfamiliar with you out there, what's one thing that like your music, like a message that gets relayed to them, or a theme that you generally want to get across with your music?
Yeah, feel the feelings, go through the shit, find your way to the end of it, and like build what you want.
All right. Well, before we get to that, we're gonna enter a segment called the lunch hour. We ask you some everyday questions.
Ooh, okay.
All right. So the first one I got here for you. What's the first thing you think about when you wake up in the morning?
Food.
What kind of food?
Cereal, but I never eat it.
What's your favorite cereal?
Oh, Special K red berries.
I got you. It seems like it's like a kind of like a grandpa or like a grandma cereal, but I love it. I love the red berries.
It's so good.
I love the red berries.
I mean, obviously
they don't put enough strawberries in there either.
No,
they really. I mean,
they
never do, right? That or Captain Crunch peanut butter.
Captain Crunch peanut butter.
I like the Reese's Puffs though.
No.
Yeah, those are good.
I have to do the crunch berries. If I go Captain Crunch, I gotta go crunch berries.
Crunch berries. Yeah,
okay.
More baldy.
But the Captain Crunch, it tear up the roof of my mouth.
Yeah,
I almost can't even, because I'm so eager to eat it at the same time.
I know, and then they get up there and they're just like.
Oh, my mouth it's tore up. The crunch berries
trying to claw their way out. They're like, no.
Oh yeah, they'll tear you up. Okay, next one. What's your favorite pair of shoes of all time?
Ooh, these Nike high tops that I got on.
Okay, those look like some like Forces.
They're like Forces, yeah.
They're Nike Airs. Air Force
Nike
Ones.
Airs?
These are Air Force Ones.
Like
I didn't even know.
I know some Forces when I see them.
Forces is still hot.
My Air Force Ones. Okay.
You already know. Hey, I decided to cop a pair of.
I feel so much
white
cooler
ones.
now that I know that.
I can't buy no more damn shoes.
You didn't know that those were Forces?
I didn't know.
They are kind of different though.
Literally telling John we got.
There's some special edition ones. Some special edition Forces.
They were on sale, man. And I was like, man, I've been looking for just white sneakers. It's such a classic staple. I never had them.
I've had my share of white sneakers.
My daughter's wearing all white right now. And I'm looking at her like just going through.
Oh, is she out there?
Yeah, she's out there.
Oh.
You can't do it.
As they do.
When I have kids, I can't give them white sneakers till they're
I want to choke
18.
my son out.
Until they graduate. Here
it's
you go.
gonna be like alcohol. You can't have white shoes till you're 18. I don't think you can handle this yet.
Yeah, last year my son did that, and I was upset.
And you low-key can't get mad at him.
I can't 'cause I paid it. I paid for it. I knew what I was doing.
But you ain't wearing them, though. You gotta let them just. It is painful.
I mean, we all can appreciate the feeling of just ruining something that is, you know, like when you're little and you see a Jenga and you're just like, wow, and you just want to like see it fall, and like a brand new pair of shoes, you're like, that's a mud puddle, wow, you know, like it's still fun. I mean, but when it's your money that you're spending, you don't want to do that.
Definitely drive through puddles. It's tempting on the freeway, but on the freeway it's low-key scary.
Puddle jumping? No.
I saw someone, I was like, I'm going to move for you. It was like an older guy. I was like, I'm not going to do like
shit
that.
in the back of their car.
That's another only movie type moment. If you get hit with some water on the sidewalk while walking.
Happened.
That happened to me in Everett. When I was
way.
walking, I had to do a little jog in Everett, and I had no business being up there at the time. I was going to get some space. They had a nice park.
I need some space. I'm going to Everett.
It's quiet. No one knows me. And someone just rolled past me, so we had the ice water going on and everything. Like when it was snowing and everything was melting. A truck came up all over me. I was like, this
I'd have been
all
so hot.
dirty water. I was like,
I had something similar when I was out in France last year. There was like some
Wee.
he was on this thing. He tried not to come back home.
That's what I'm saying.
Europe is fantastic. It's
Europe is
vibe.
fantastic. Okay, sorry, go keep.
Oh no, okay, but yeah, Europe is agreed. But there was like some like chocolate like otter pop type thing on the ground, and just like this someone just ran over it, and it sounded like a firecracker. I got hit lightly, and then I was with my girl and her friend, and they got like the brunt of it. I was on the inside, so I got the third.
And it just looked just like straight poop.
It was it got all over. It was bad.
No.
It was bad. She had to go home. We had plans.
What
she had to
are
go
the
home.
chances, man?
Yeah, never
Funny how
been.
God work, right?
All right. Okay, I got another one for you. What is your biggest pet peeve?
Being ignored.
Like text.
Like for no reason.
Like
Yeah.
are you the type that puts your read receipts on for everybody?
No.
Because you show that type of respect.
No.
Heavy-handed.
What do you mean?
Like, can you pack a punch? Like, you look heavy-handed. Well, I want to make sure I see a heavy-handed woman.
She's got the claws.
Right. I watch that show.
No, I just really, I think that time is valuable, and being ignored is like the worst thing.
I thought you were gonna say your biggest pet peeve was having to repeat yourself. That's another.
That's a lot of women's pet peeve, though.
That is, I
feel like that's
repeating
pretty
myself.
universal.
No, that's terrible. It's like I don't like it either, but I'm not out here like if you ask me,
my mood will change.
Ding comes to mind. Like she's like I hate.
Mine's ding.
I was like,
mine's
noted.
going right off.
What is yours?
Oh, like that's probably one of my top 3 right there.
Having to repeat yourself.
Yeah.
He kind of comes off like.
Especially when you explain something like a long something.
Time.
Yeah. It's like just grab your phone and record it. That way you can play it back for yourself later.
Yeah. Pull out the voice
I don't
memo.
have the time.
I got you.
Pull out the voice memo.
I got limited breaths in my life, okay?
All right, if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
You want to be a telepath.
Hell no, I don't want to know what people are thinking.
Oh, shit.
There's some wildness out there.
I do not want to know. I'm already creeped out half the time by people, and I don't even want. I mean, I could think creepy things too, so I don't want anybody reading my mind, and I don't want to read anybody. I think that's too far. I think, but I mean,
that is kind of scary.
it's on the way, you know. Like
it's coming. Yeah, they're gonna.
Did you see that China just released a 500 megapixel camera that can identify identify every face in a crowd of 10,000?
I believe it.
And why would you say that? Why would you release that information? Wouldn't you want to just keep that under wraps? Just.
But would you want it? But would you rather not know that though?
Well, but so now I need to
do?
have different faces, and that's annoying. I have to start thinking about how I can modify my face.
Superpower, different faces.
I would love to be a shapeshifter. Oh my god, totally.
Hey, that's like what's
I
her
would be
name?
a shapeshifter.
Mystique.
If I could just because then you could just be like, I'm a plane. Woo.
You want to be like that? That's more it sounds like you want to be a transformer.
I'm gonna be a full transformer.
Go into a car, go into a plane.
You got one that's a planet. The Unicron dude.
Unicron?
Yeah, he's a planet.
What?
Yeah.
I'm not that deep.
I'm a transformer.
I'm not that deep.
I have a big imagination. My big ass kids.
I like that though. That's good.
See?
I like all of the end of the world movies where Battle of the Monsters and what was the one with The Rock? It was so good. Anything with The Rock is so good.
There were so many.
You better not say Doom. That was terrible.
Is that the one where he has like the amputated leg and he's like jumping 50 feet?
Right. No. That was the one he has the prosthetic leg.
Yeah.
I heard that was kind of dope.
No. Okay. Let me see. I need to know.
Hold up.
I'm not up to date on my Dwayne The Rock Johnson movies.
I used to want to be The Rock. I was actually watching.
I used to want to be The Rock.
As a kid, The Rock was everything. To
Dude,
me.
The Rock is everything still.
I only watched wrestling because of The Rock at one point.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely tune in. Stone Cold also.
Stone Cold, yeah. Triple H. I hated Triple H as a kid.
I hate Triple H.
Googling it.
Okay, I got a couple more for you. Last three, you're gonna fill in the blanks. If you had to go into witness
San
protection,
Andreas.
Oh, wait, which one is San Andreas?
San Andreas film.
That was the movie.
That is the one. That's like the Doomsday 2012.
Yeah.
But it seemed like it was a spin-off.
2015.
There you go.
But if you had to go in witness protection program and you had to change your name, you would change it to.
I think Austin Powers right now.
I don't know. Probably like Winnie Benini or something.
Winnie Benini. They're gonna find you so quick.
Hi, my name's Winnie Benini.
They're finding a Winnie Benini in the system so quick. It's gonna be the only one in the system.
Check the system.
Winnie Benini.
I hope the mob doesn't work in that time.
I know, right? God, the mob. God, me and the mob go way back. I'm just kidding.
All right.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. I'm digging into my Mexican family right now. Like I've never met anybody, I haven't really met like a single one, and except when I was like really little. My mom's from Mexico. Okay. And but she's just she
came here how old?
She was like a baby. She was like 3 months old.
Okay.
Her mom like threw her over the border and was like, "Go live with your dad, who lived here."
Somebody.
Yeah, and so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we had some mob connections or some cartel connections. You know, I'm like, Mom, why don't you want to talk about our family?
Mom got secrets. You probably got a whole TV show going on.
Watch my.
Queen of the South.
I know. Watch my family is just like drug lords. You're like, okay, well.
Man, all my relatives are crime. I don't know. I got a crime syndicate over there. My cousin just got some time. Oh man.
Damn.
Transferred to Wisconsin. I was like, it made the news. I was like, wow, man, you really.
Damn.
You're really out here committing crimes.
Ooh,
damn.
Man. I'm like, I don't even.
Are you close with him?
I'm very close. We grew up together. Like,
damn.
It was kind of. I don't know if it's on air, but I'm just like, you do the crime, you gotta do the time.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Stand tall. Whatever.
Right.
But it is a different kind of game when you know relatives. My father was a criminal. My cousins, my uncles. Only legitimate relative we have is my grandma. God rest her soul. So she's my cousin. She's a judge now. So yeah.
Okay, so very opposite
I was her
direction.
favorite cousin, so I'm cool.
So you're good.
If I ever
you're like,
crime in Chicago, I'm good.
Yeah, you're like, hey.
Like, give me Rondi.
Give me.
I'm good.
Man, I know.
Like, yo.
Rondi, I need you.
That's what I need. I need some people. I need some of my family to be in the freaking court system.
There you go. My daughter wants to be a police officer. I'm like, what?
That's it.
Zootopia. Zootopia did this shit.
She got to play she got to be the type of cop that's in power. What's his name? That helps out 50 Cent. She's just coordinating the robberies.
The cousin. Yeah.
She got to be like that.
My daughter's an aggressor and she's heavy-handed, so yeah. She's a gangster compared to me, her and her brother. So.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. Strong woman.
There you go.
All right, if you could work with any artist, dead or alive, you would work with
Amy Winehouse.
Who? Okay.
That'd be dope.
Last one I got for you. My name is Scarlet Parke, and I'm a
Taurus.
Not on.
Oh, and I'm on.
Rainier.
You're a Taurus. You could be a Taurus.
Oh, you just finished the sentence?
Just finish the sentence. How you see?
What are you?
My name is Scarlet Parke, and I'm a weirdo. I don't know.
Hey, you heard it here first, man. Seattle Lunch Table, man. Caj Encee, Feez, Germ, Scarlet Parke. Thanks for joining us here with us today.
Yes, thanks for having me. Let's get weird. Yeah, let's just.